Already we have seen what is enlightenment and what is liberation. Actually, liberation alone is the actual thing. Enlightenment is just an intellectual understanding. So the mind is functioning naturally, it is flowing like a living river. Moment by moment it is new. There is no old in our mind. Each and every moment it functions like a new river. There is no old thing. But at the same time, we want to retain our mind in a good state. That's the problem. We want to maintain a good state, catch a good state and remove a bad state. Thereby we interfere with the regular flow of our mind. And we created unnecessary struggle within our mind and everything. So we have to understand, within our mind we have no duty. We have to come to a conclusion, we have to find out that we have no duty within our mind. Externally we have many work. We are facing with many situations. In each and every situation, the situation demands some work from us. So we have to work. But psychologically, within our mind, we have no work. We have to understand. This very understanding that we have no work within our mind is known as enlightenment. When we understand like this, our mind is functioning undisturbed. Otherwise, we are catching hold of something. So in this way, we have already seen what is enlightenment and what is liberation. And yesterday we have seen what is the psychological aspect and what is the physical aspect. If we are meeting with some problem in the external world, it will have some reflection upon our mind. So we have to settle the mind in a good state. We have to deal with the external situation also in a good state. So we have to be free from the unnecessary reflection of our mind. When the outward situation is okay, there is no psychologically there will be also no problem. But the situation is a problematic one, it will have some reflection within our mind. It will give us some unnecessary torture within ourselves. So we have to calm down the situation. For that we have talked about what is thought and what is thinking. We have to understand the difference between thought and thinking. Even a bad situation, the unnecessary thought may come. The situation is a worst one and a problematic one. Some unnecessary thought, some torturing thought may come naturally. We need not worry about without any thought. So thought is natural. But thinking is manual. It is willful, we are creating the thinking. So thinking is on our part. And thought is a natural one. We have not created thought. Thought created automatically. So we need not worry about the thought. We need not fight with our thought. But at the same time, we have the duty to free from the thinking. The thinking is because it is created by ourselves. We can minimize our thinking. We can regulate our thinking. We can withdraw from our thinking. So in this way, we can deal with the situation. Some situation may be finished one. For example, some close relative of ourselves died. We have no work externally. But even though the matter is over, we have no work externally, psychologically we have the thought about that thing. In the same way, we met with some failure in our activities, and the matter is over. We have no work related to the external activity. Even then, some thought will go, thought will come. I have to do this, I should not do this. So in this way, the thought will repeatedly come. So the matter is over. Externally, there is no work. Physically, there is no possibilities of work. It is already over. But even then, the thought will come unconsciously. So for that, we have to avoid thinking one alone, not thought. We need not avoid thought. We have to give total freedom to our thought. So the thought may come and go away, disappear on its own. We need not worry about that. But some situation, the problem may be a continuous one. It is not the problem will not end. We have some scope for work. Sometimes some scope for work, sometimes there will not be any scope for work. It will become alternatively. So in this situation, so we have some work also. On our part also we have some work. We have to do something psychological and physically. Here, what we have to do? The thought and thinking, the aspect of thought and thinking will not work. The concept of thought and thinking will not work. The thought may be necessary, the thinking also may be necessary. But at the same time, some discipline must be necessary. With related to the thought and thinking, some discipline is necessary. For that, we have to understand how we have to meet with the continuous problem. The problem may be a continuous one. It has not end up with one day. It may be continuous for months together, years together. It may be a continuous one. So in this way, the thought and thinking is also take some important role. So we have to approach the situation in a different manner. So here we have to understand what is conscious mind and what is total mind. We have to understand some different kind of approach. This approach is known as conscious mind and total mind. The first approach, that is the matter, the problem is end, the problem is finished. Even after the finishing of the problem, we have the wandering of thought, some wavering of thought. So here we have to approach the problem with the matter of thought and thinking. Now in the continuous problem, the thought and thinking is not sufficient. So we have to approach the matter through the conscious mind and total mind. So what is conscious mind and what is total mind? So in this aspect, we have to refer the scripture of the Vedanta and Siddhanta and everything they told. They use the word andakarana. Andakarana, but normally we use the word mind, but the Shastra did not use the word directly in the mind. Instead of mind, they use the word andakarana. The andakarana is containing 4 aspects: manam, buddhi, siddham and ahankaram. So mind, intellect, and what is the Siddham? Siddha, that is our character. No? Siddham. Siddham is the character. The character. And the fourth one is the Ahankar. Ahankar is the I consciousness. So in this way, the Manam, Buddhi, Siddham and Ahankar. Mind, intellect, Siddham means character, and the another one is the Ahankar. Ahankar is I consciousness. So this is, it is folded in four aspects. The total is known as Andakarana, or now we give the name as total mind. The total mind is known as the Andakarana or the total mind. It is comprised of mind, intellect, our character and the I consciousness. The total four is known as the total mind. Upon the along with the in the totality of the total mind, the first part is known as the mind. So the first part alone is known as the conscious mind. The entire four aspects are totally covered as the total mind. The first part alone refers as the conscious mind. So we have to understand the differentiation between the conscious mind and the total mind. So if any work done by the total mind, there will be any problem. It will be well and good. If any problem, any difficult situation, if the situation is addressed by the total mind, there will be no problem. But if the situation is addressed by the conscious mind alone, then there will be a problem. So we have to understand what is the difference between the conscious mind and total mind. So for that we have to understand the quality of the four aspects of our mind, four aspects of the total mind. The first one is the mind, second one is the intellect, the third one is the Siddha or character, the fourth one is the Ahankar or I consciousness. Now we have to understand each and everything separately. So what is mind? The first part of the total mind. For example, we have decided to do a work. We have to do this work today. But our mind tells you that we have to, instead of this work, we have to do another work, because this work is somewhat difficult, so we can take the another work for today. And at the same time, the same mind gives you more choice. Instead of this second work, we can take a third work also. So in this way, the mind is a wandering mind. It will say one time one way, one thing, the other day, other thing, other time it will say another thing. So it repeatedly this and that, it will select this and that. So this is the wandering mind. So the first part of our total mind is known as the mind. The mind is a wandering mind. It will not have any steady aspect. So this wandering mind is known as the first part of the four categories: mind, buddhi, siddham and ahankar, or mind, intellect, or character and I consciousness. The first part is the mind. So the second part is the buddhi or the intellect. So the intellect is not with a wandering nature. It is have some steady mind. If you are steady in our decision, it is a decisive nature. So the decisive nature of our psychological structure is known as the buddhi or the intellect. The wandering mind may offer many things. suggest many things. I have to do this one or that one or some other thing. But the buddhi or the intellect select one thing suggested by the mind, it selected one thing for action. So selecting one thing for action is some conclusive action. If the mind is functioning in a conclusive way, it is known as the intellect or the buddhi. So that is the character of the buddhi or intellect. So the third one is the character. The character or our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind or character is same. Or according to this Shastra, it is known as the Siddha. So what is the role of the Siddha? For example, we are walking along a street, and 500 meters away, some crowd is there. From here we cannot assess what is going on in the crowd. So our mind says we have to go there and watch what is going on there. The mind suggests like this. So some crowd, it is not it is a usual custom. It is unusually some crowd is there on the way. So the mind suggests I have to go there and watch what is going on there. The mind suggests like this. The mind gives another suggestion. The first suggestion is to go towards the crowd. The second suggestion of the same mind is, so the crowd looks somewhat abnormal. It is a normal crowd. It looks like some abnormal crowd. So some unnecessary thing may go on there. So we need not unnecessarily go there and purchase some unnecessary thing. So let us avoid this crowd and go some other way. So the mind suggests in this way. So the mind offers two suggestions. The first suggestion is to go towards the crowd, and the second suggestion is to avoid the crowd. So the decision maker is the buddhi or the intellect. The intellect has to choose. The intellect has to select. For example, if the intellect select the first offer, the first suggestion is to go towards the crowd. So if the first suggestion, if you have to carry out the first suggestion, we have to have some energy. For example, if you want to go towards the crowd, what energy is needed? We have some interest, some anxiety to move towards the crowd. So the interest and anxiety is the energy to push you towards the crowd. So such energy is the creation of the siddha or our character. The place of siddha or our subconscious mind or our character or our what is known as siddha. So the siddha is our subconscious mind or our character field. So that is the storehouse of energy. So it created some interest and some anxiety to move towards the crowd. So we go towards that. For example, if the intellect select the second option to avoid the crowd, the first option to move towards the crowd, the second option to avoid the crowd and go somewhere else. So what emotion, what energy comes, you will avoid the crowd. If you have some aversion towards the crowd, some displeasure with the crowd, then you will avoid the crowd. So in this way, if you decide like this, if your intellect decide, I have to avoid this crowd, I don't know, it is not a good thing to go towards the crowd, I have to avoid the crowd. If the intellect decide like this, our siddha or our subconscious mind give the energy in the form of some aversion or some some unpleasant feeling with related to the thing. So in this, when we have some unpleasant feeling and aversion, so you simply avoid the crowd. So that is the third aspect of our mind. And the fourth aspect is the ahankar. The ahankar, what is ahankar? The ahankar is nothing but what are the emotion created by the subconscious mind is technically speaking as ahankar, technically speaking as I consciousness. It is nothing more than that. What all created by the siddha or subconscious mind, for example, in the first instance is created some anxiety to move towards the crowd. The second instance, it creates an aversion towards the crowd. The anxiety and the aversion both are known as the ahankar. That is the feeling, that is the emotion. All emotions created by the siddha technically is known as the ahankar. That is the I consciousness. So there is no difference between the feeling and I consciousness, there is no difference. So the I consciousness and the emotions happen there is known as ahankar. That is the fourth part of ourself. So the total mind is comprised of the total four. All the four: mind, intellect, our subconscious mind, and the emotion comes out of that. So all the four jointly together hold as the total mind. So the total mind is the powerful mind, but the first part of the totality is the mind alone. That is 25% capacity alone is there. But in the totally it is 100% powerful. But in the first part of the total mind, that is the mind alone, is only 25% of the totality. So it is, so the power is very less. So when we meet any problem with the conscious mind, some struggle will be going on within you. We cannot attend to the work properly. So if the total mind attend the work, everything will be all right. But both minds are available. The conscious mind and total mind both are available within ourselves. We can either use the total mind or the conscious mind. If we use the total mind, there will not be any problem. But if we use the conscious mind, we have to have some agitative mind. We attend all our work within the agitative mind alone. So we have to understand the role of the conscious mind and role of the total mind. For example, there is a big house, and in the gate one watchman is there, and inside the house owner is there. The watchman is available in the gate. One morning, one gigantic person came there and asked the watchman, I want to see the master. And he was, the gigantic person he has some big moustache, and he has a big sword in his waist. He looks very rough and tough. But the watchman cannot have a good idea how to enter, how to allow him to inside, because he looked like he looked like a rough and tough, and he is unable to take a decision whether he have to allow the person inside or not. So he contacted the master through intercom. If such person, somebody is not a good person, he is not a good looking person, somebody has come, what I have to take, whether I have to allow him inside or not. He asked the master, and the master told him, you allow him inside. And the gigantic person, he entered into the house, and the master is available in the hall. The gigantic person, he entered into the hall, and give a salute to the master and remove all the sword and place in front of the master and put another salute and return back. So everything ends in a soft and sweet manner. Here this is only an example. Now the watchman is the conscious mind. He cannot decide properly. He will have what I have to do, whether I have to do this thing or that thing. So he will in a confusion mind, agitative mind. So the agitative mind, the personality is the conscious mind. The master of the house is the total mind. The total mind will not have any problem. He will do anything. So he will not afraid of anything. So he can dare with anything. So if the master is dealing with the thing, there will not be no problem. So if the total mind deals with any problem, there will not be any problem. If the conscious mind alone deal with the problem, there will be some confusion and agitation. So here, this both conscious mind and total mind is available within ourselves. So this is the thing we have to understand. And one another example with related to the conscious mind and total mind. For example, we are having the hill here. In the morning we are going to the hill, climbing the hill, and while we go there, we mistakenly, you leave your cell phone there and return. And then after returning there, only you remind that we have lost, you have put your cell phone there and mistakenly put there, and without the cell phone you return. But you have to go there and get the cell phone. It is a costly cell phone, we have to go there. But there is no light, it becomes dark, becomes night. There is no light. And you have to climb the mountain, and there are many pitfalls, there are many bushes, we cannot find out the way. And you stretching your hand here and there, you carefully climb the mountain. At any time you can fall. You are afraid of falling there. By trembling manner you are climbing the mountain. You pray the God to safeguard yourself, and you climb like this, but in a trembling manner. And somewhere or other, at one point of time, you tread upon a stone and fall down from a small pit. It is not a dangerous one, but it is a small pit. You treaded and fall down. Now you have to get up. Do you have any hesitation to get up? Without any struggle, you will automatically get up from the fall. But before you fall, you have the trembling manner. But when you fall down, automatically you will have. After raising, after stand up alone, you know how you have to stand up. But you will not have any agitation. So the getting up is the action of total mind. But the falling down and the trembling, whether I will dash upon any bush or fall down in a pit. So the hesitation mind, the hesitative mind is the conscious mind. But whenever you get up from the ground, then the total mind is functioning. So in this way, in the previous day also I have given one example. Normally you have no knowledge or any experience of climbing a tree. You have no experience like that. But one fine day you have to have some urgency or you have to climb a tree. for some reason or other. And you hesitantly, you climb the tree. And you are trembling and you have some fearful thought, some branch will break down and you can slip the grip, at any time you can fall, thinking that you will have some fear of climbing the tree. In the fearful state, you are climbing the tree. And while climbing the tree, you are at any given moment, you fall down from the tree. Now you are falling from the tree. When you are climbing the tree, you are in fear. But when you are falling from the tree, what kind of emotion you will have? Whether you will have fear, you will not have, you will not have fear. Some work, some intensity of your emotion alone will be there. There will not be any fear. So there will not be any division between your thought and action. It becomes one. Your thought and action will be one when you are falling from the tree. But whenever you are climbing the tree, your thought and action will be different. You have to act, you have to climb. But at the same time, your mind will take a separate role of, and in the mind is giving some thought of fear. I will fall, I cannot, the branch will break down. So in this way, it will have unnecessary thing. It will create unnecessary thing. So this is an example for the conscious mind and total mind. The total mind will be always in a good mind. It can deal with any problem smartly. But both mind are available within ourselves. Total mind is also available. This conscious mind is also available. If we do our work with the help of the conscious mind, some unnecessary emotion will come, unnecessary agitation will come. If we do our work through the total mind, there will not be any agitation. Work alone will be there. The thought and action will synchronize with each other. Some unity will be there. So within the unity, everything will be all right. So we have to understand, we have to verify that such kind of mind is available. The conscious mind is also available within ourselves. The total mind is also available. And we have to know the difference, and at the same time, we have to understand that both are available within ourselves. So this is the main thing that is the second part of the internal and external. The first part of the internal and external is the thought and thinking. The second part of the internal and external is the conscious mind and total mind. So the both mind are available within ourselves, and you can rely upon the total mind. Whenever the situation may be a very difficult situation, you may not have some knowledge about the problem. Even though you do not have any knowledge about the problem, if the total mind is functioning in an efficient manner, it will not give you any fear. It will have some energy to you. With the help of the total mind, with the help of their total energy, you can successfully deal with all things in front of you. So the main thing is that you have to understand what is the conscious mind and what is the total mind. Now if you want any clarification in this aspect, you can have some clarification. And after ending the thing, we have some 10 rules of life by which, if we apply the 10 rules, we can live our life in a comfortable way. That we can deal with later. And before that, if you won't have any clarification with the conscious mind and total mind, you can have some question with related to that.
Shri Bagavath, you gave an examples of how the conscious mind is working and how the total mind is working. But from these examples, it seems that the total mind is spontaneous.
Total mind is spontaneous.
So how do let's say I find myself acting through the conscious mind, and I want to switch to the other one. But so how do you do this switch from the conscious mind? Let's say you have a fearful situation in life. You are fearful about it. You don't know how to act in this situation. How do you switch to the total mind?
Switch to the total mind. So here we are conscious mind alone. Our conscious mind alone is the available mind. Total mind is not under our control. It will come spontaneously. But the conscious mind must be satisfied that behind ourselves some total mind is available also. We have some faith like that. The total mind, just like God, even or anything in this way, if total mind is God is not different, both are same. In this way, God is behind me or total mind is behind me. If the conscious mind is having the faith like this, the conscious mind becomes the total mind itself. Then it includes itself. That conscious mind includes the total mind also. So he must have some faith upon the total mind, or it has some faith upon the God, whatever it is. Beyond ourselves, some energy field is there behind me. So energy field will take care of everything. So whatever possible you can do. So in this way, the possibilities you can do. For example, we are stepping down in a staircase. It is some 30 steps are there. You are starting from the top. You are stepping down to the lower step. The total steps are 30. You are starting from you have both your luggage. You cannot get the handrail also. You step by step you are getting down. But if your reaching point is that the 30th step along sight, under your sight, the 30th step is also within your sight. But you are stepping down only in the 4th step along. But in 26 steps of remaining, you have to get. And you are now on the 4th or 5th step. But you can look at the end also, in the final step also. But the available step is only the 5th or 6th step along the available step. You have to step down only in the 6th step. You cannot jump to the 30th step. So the available is only the here and now is the available thing. So but anyhow the reaching point is the 30th step. So you have to leave everything in the total mind or anything or in the God. The result, you have to give the result to the total mind or the God or anything. What is available within you, you have to take. The 6th step is the available step. You have to take the 6th step along. You need not worry about the 30th step. So you simply dismiss the 30th step. So in the example you can simply, but for some complicated situation, what is available within you, in front of you, for example, your relative is having some sickness, some problem, some illness. You are taking him to the hospital. You have no idea to how to treat the person. But at the same time, you can have how to take him to the hospital, that you know. So that is available. So that part alone you have to take. So how the remaining part is the work of the doctor. there is a work of the hospital. It is not yours. So in this way, each and every situation, the available fact, available situation, available aspect alone within our reach. So but at the same time, if we think about the result, think about the hospital, think about the cure of the disease or anything, then we cannot, in this way, we will disturb in the possible action itself. So if you are stable in the possible action, we have to hand over the rest of the problem in the total mind or the God or anything. So we have to, the possible thing alone we have to take. So what is not possible within our hand, we have to take, we have to entrust with the God or the total mind. So the main thing is that total mind is also available, God is also available, and the conscious mind is also available. We have to rely upon the conscious mind alone, but what is some unnecessary thing or the remote thing alone, we have to entrust with the total mind. For the purpose of entrusting the matter to the total mind alone, we have to take the total mind into account. Otherwise, total mind will not, it is not under our control. The total mind is not under the control of the conscious mind. We are ourselves the conscious mind alone. The conscious mind alone is the available mind. Total mind is not the available mind. So conscious mind alone is available mind. We can do along with the conscious mind alone. And the conscious mind has to entrust the remaining thing, the future or the problematic aspect of the doing thing, that we have to entrust with the total mind. The entrusting work alone is the work of the conscious mind. And entrusting the disturbing factor to the total mind, and what is possible and within ourselves, what is within our reach, we have to attain. So that is a approach you have to take.
So, if I understand correctly, you introduce here an element of faith,
Faith. The conscious mind
trust.
has a duty to have a faith like this.
Faith or trust. And how does that sit together with that the understanding is only intellectual? How does these two? So you need the element of faith for practical living. You need the element of trust, of faith, or because in your teaching you always stress the point that it is only intellectual understanding. That enlightenment is only intellectual understanding. And now you come with a new element of faith. How does this go together?
So here we have to intellectually find out the availability of the total mind is also there. That we are giving some example. So in crucial circumstances, how we have behaved. In falling down, what is the behavior. So some mind is there. Some spontaneous work of our mind is also there. Some quality of mind is there. We name it as total mind. Some spontaneous activities of our mind is there. That is when the spontaneous mind is functioning, there is no trouble within you. Only the conscious mind is attending the work alone, we will have some agitation with ourselves. So we have some experience that there are times. At that time we have no agitation. In that period there are certain circumstances within ourselves. We are facing many situations. Some situation we are doing the situation with some agitation. In some situation we are facing the situation without any agitation. We have the idea, we have some knowledge about that. So with the knowledge about that, we have come to a conclusion that when there is no agitation, the total mind is functioning there. we can find out. By this finding out, we take the faith like that. It is at the back of ourselves, the total mind is waiting for our help. So we need not worry about that. So that means we need not worry about the unnecessary thing. What is available within, what is possible within ourselves, we can concentrate upon the possible thing alone. So to attain the possible thing, the total mind is not necessary. So we have to turn to the possible thing. Otherwise, if you do not understand the total mind, the conscious mind will not attain the possible thing at least. It will agitate to attain the possible thing. It may go wrong, I may not succeed. In this way, it is unnecessarily struggling with the possible thing. Actually, it is possible. It is possible with the conscious mind itself, but it is unnecessarily introduce the future. It may go wrong. I may make failure. In this way, unnecessarily it will avoid the actual work. So for that, it has to take a decision. On the back of myself, some total mind is there. So what is possible, you can do like this.
Sir, if two possible options are available.
Please get the mic back.
If two possible options are available, how can we choose? Both are same, equal chances of getting success or any other thing. How can we choose? That is a confusion now. Maybe it may arise sometimes. Two are, it seems as good result.
But anyhow, that is the role of the intellect. The intellect has to choose something. Even after you choose something, but you're afraid to do the act. You selected the act. You selected the action. But even though you hesitate to act, it may end in failure. Some wrong thing may happen. In this way, you are struggling to. You are not ready to act. So in that you are hesitate to act. When you are having some hesitation to act, then only you have to rely upon the total mind. On my back, total mind is there. It will come for help. In this way, you can. Or God, you can relate if you are not ready to accept the total mind, you can realize God will help me. In this way, anyhow, you have to do the work. Your conscious mind has to do the work.
Yes, I have to do the work. At that moment, two options are available.
So you select. Anyway, you selected the one. After selecting the one, the other problem comes.
After selection.
After selecting, and even after selecting, you hesitate to work. It may end in failure. You may hesitate. So in that time, you can offer. Total mind is there. You can what is the possible thing? You can with the possibilities of yourself, you can attend the work.
So selection is not in our hands, or automatically.
So selection is in your hand. You select. After selection, you go. You are coming to the second step. The first step is over in the selection, and you selected only for two things are available. Whether you go there or not, you selected to go. And after selecting the other thing, how to execute the selected thing?
At the time of first step only I am asking. First step, the selection.
So that you have to use your intellect. Your intellect has to decide. Intellect means buddhi. Buddhi, you have to use your intellect. This is good or bad. What you have to do. Either you can consult other person also.
There also some mind agitation will arise. No?
So if you are unable to decide, you can use your intellect. Your intellect, or you can consult other person also. By consulting other person, what you have to select. For that, you can make use of the other person's intellect also. Anyhow, you have to select.
இப்போ வந்து கான்சியஸ் மைண்டு எப்படி செயல்படுதுன்னு தெரியுது. நமக்கு கான்சியஸ் மைண்டில் நம்ம ஒரு இதை சூஸ் பண்ணுறோம், அதோடைய ரிசல்ட்டு நமக்கு அன்ஃபவராக வேணும்னா டோட்டல் மைண்டை ஒப்படைச்சிடணும் நீங்கள் சொல்லுங்கள்.
அதாவது டோட்டல் மைண்டை ஒப்படைச்சி அதுக்கு நீ பார்த்துக்கன்னு சொல்கிறது இல்லை. டோட்டல் மைண்டு நமக்கு உதவிக்கு இருக்குன்னு நினச்சி நம்ம தைரியமாயிடும், நம்ம வந்து ஒரு கான்ஃபிடென்ட் ஆகிடும். அது கான்ஃபிடென்ட் டோட்டல் மைண்டுன்னு ஒன்று இருக்குல்ல, ஷூர் இருக்குது. அது வந்து டோட்டல் மைண்டுன்னு நேம் வைக்கிறோம் நம்ம, அவ்வளோதான் இல்லையா? இந்த காடுன்னு சொல்கிறாங்களே அது கூட டோட்டல் மைண்டு. அது எது காடுன்னு சொல்கிறாங்க. காடு ஒன்றுனாலும் ஒன்று தான், டோட்டல் மைண்டாலும் எல்லாம் ஒன்று தான். அப்போ நம்ம செய்யக்கூடிய ஒரு சின்ன சின்ன செயல்கள் கூட நம்ம முன்னோர்கள் சொன்ன மாரி சரணாகதியிலே செய்யலாமாங்க. இல்லை சரணாகதின்னு சொல்லி சொன்னால் நீங்கள் உங்களுக்கு சரணாகதி மட்டுமே வேலை கிடையாது. ஆமாம், நம்ம வேலை செய்யணும், நீங்கள் வேலை பண்ணணும், ஒர்க் பண்ணணும். கடவுள் வந்து கை கொடுப்பாங்கன்னு நினச்சிட்டு நீங்கள் செஞ்சீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் செய்கிற வேலையை நல்லா செஞ்சிடலாம். இப்போ என் கேள்வி என்னென்னா, சாதாரண விஷயம் நம்ம செய்யும்போது அது ஒரு மெடிக்கலுக்கு போகிறோம், நிச்சயம் மாத்திரை இருக்க போது வாங்கிட்டு வந்துருக்கோம், இது ஒரு சாதாரண விஷயம். இந்த ஒர்க்கை நம்ம செய்யணும், அந்த ஒர்க்கில் கான்சியஸை பயன்படுத்தாமல் டோட்டல் மைண்டே அதுக்கு பயன்படுத்துகிறா மனசு. நீங்கள் உங்கள் கையில் கான்சியஸ் மைண்ட் மட்டும்தான் இருக்குது, நீங்கள் டோட்டல் மைண்டை நீங்கள் பயன்படுத்த முடியாது. ஆனால் இருக்குல்ல, அது நீங்கள் இருக்குன்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா நீங்கள் செய்கிற வேலையை நல்லா செய்வீங்க. ரிசல்ட்டை பற்றி கவலைப்படாமல் செய்யுங்க. ஆமாம், ரிசல்ட்டை பற்றி கவலை இல்லைன்னா நீங்கள் ரிசல்ட்டை பற்றி கவலைப்பட்டு செய்கிற வேலையும் செய்ய முடியாது. உங்களுக்கு முடிஞ்சதை இப்போ என்னுடைய கேள்வி என்னன்னாங்க, சாதாரண விஷயத்தை கூட டோட்டல் மைண்டை ஒப்படைச்சிட்டு நம்ம ஒர்க்கை செய்யலாமா, அது இன்னும் பலமானதான்னு ஒப்படைச்சிட்டு கான்சியஸ் மைண்டை யூஸ் பண்ணணும். மைண்ட் செய்கிற வேலையை கான்சியஸ் மைண்டு செய்யணும், செய்யும். அதுக்கு உதவியாக டோட்டல் மைண்டு ஒன்று இருக்குங்கிறத வந்து நம்பிக்கிடணும். அது சின்ன செயல் கூட யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம், பண்ணிக்கலாம். அப்போ வந்து மனசு இன்னும் ஸ்ட்ரென்த்தாக இருக்குமான்னு கேட்கணும். மனசு இன்னும் ஸ்ட்ரென்த்தாக இருக்குமான்னு கேட்கணும். ஆமாம், ஸ்ட்ரென்த்தாக தானே இருக்கும், அதுதான் கேட்கும். அப்போ தான் நீங்கள் வந்து ஸ்டெடியாக பண்ண முடியும், இல்லைன்னா நீங்கள் தடுமாறிக்கிட்டே தானே இருக்கீங்க. சரி, அப்போ பகவத்கீதை சொன்ன மாதிரி ரிசல்ட்டை பற்றி கவலைப்படாமல் நம்ம கான்சியஸ் மைண்டில் அதே செஞ்சுட்டு போகணும். அதே ஓகே, நீங்கள் அதை பற்றி அதுங்கன்னா ரிசல்ட்டை பற்றி எதிர்பார்த்தீங்க, பலனை பற்றி எதிர்பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஃபியூச்சரை எதிர்பார்த்தீங்க. ஃபியூச்சரை நினைச்சிங்கன்னா ப்ரெசென்ட்டில் ஓட்டுறது. கான்சியஸ் மைண்டில் செயலை செஞ்சுக்கிட்டே. ஆமாம், அது டோட்டல் மைண்டை ஒப்படைக்காததும் அது வேறு விஷயம். நம்ம கான்சியஸை பயன்படுத்தி செஞ்சுக்கிட்டே இருக்கணும். டோட்டல் நீங்கள் அதுக்கு அதாவது நீங்கள் வந்து அது பொறுப்பாக ஒரு ஒப்படைக்கிறதுனால இங்கே டோட்டல் மைண்டுக்கு பவர் கொடுக்குறது. ஆமாம், இங்கே ஒப்படைக்கிறதுனா அர்த்தம்னாலே டோட்டல் கான்சியஸ் மைண்டுக்கு பவர் கொடுக்குறது. ஓகே. Any other clarification?
So if I understand, I'm the conscious mind, right?
Oh.
But behind me there is the total mind. Like it's not available willfully. It's not in my control, but it is there. So for action, I will need the intellect in order to act, to choose how to act. I will use the intellect to choose action according to my character, and I will rely. I will choose action, and then I will leave it in the hands of the total mind.
Oh.
Right?
What portion which is not in our reach? What is the portion which is not in our reach? That we have to leave to the total mind. And what is the portion within our reach? We have to attain.
Okay.
So for that we have to put. If you do not put that, and we take along both the future and the present, if you take both future and present, we cannot act in the present. We are confused with the present.
So thought and thinking, what we were discussing about thought and thinking, it is related to the conscious mind, right? Thought and thinking, the process, what you describe as...
Thought and thinking belongs to the conscious mind.
Her mother is always saying, her mother Yes, her mother, when you have a problem, she always says, you do, and God will help you.
That's the point. So God is the total mind, and what you are doing is the conscious mind. You are restricted to the conscious mind. Total mind is not around cover. But anyhow, that is also available within us. We have to understand. But the ordinary person, the persons who are in faith of God may understand, they take the role of God in itself. The other person who is not having any faith upon God, he can own their own total mind himself. Total mind is his own mind. They rely upon his own mind.
Okay, so let's say I have a problem. I meet some problem, and then I feel some turbulence in myself, not being able to see the problem, to see the solution clearly. Okay? So I understand this is the situation.
The solution is in the future, but you are not sure about the future. You are not sure about the solution.
I'm not sure about the solution. I can only see that there is turbulence.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not able to make
But
a...
if you are interested upon the solution alone, you will be troubling.
Uh-huh.
If you are not interested upon the solution, you will not have any trouble.
But
So
how can I not be interested?
You have to, all the solution you have to keep interest to the total mind or God. All solutions are related to the God or the total mind. Your part is only for what?
Yeah, this is good. So, yeah, so what how I would act in this situation, I will just wait. That I will wait. I will not act. I will try to wait to.
So waiting means waiting towards that. Doing what is possible that you have to do. You need not wait. Waiting means you are expecting something. No wait. What is possible, you have to do. What is possible, you have to act.
She is still in the first phase that you spoke. She is still in the intellect. She doesn't know what to do. Still in the first phase. She has a problem and she doesn't know what to do because there is confusion. So the intellect itself did not decide yet what to choose, right?
So how I can see it, that the problem, suddenly I will have an insight. If I see that the problem, I cannot solve it. I don't know what to do. And I will give it a rest. I will not push to solution. And then a solution will come. That's how I feel it many times. That suddenly I have, because I don't want to get into a solution, as you say, like I give it a rest. And then I will have insight, what to do, how to act. So can I say that this insight comes...
Saying unable to follow, you repeat what you... No, so
what she's trying to say, I think she's trying to say that sometimes there is a problem, okay? She cannot decide conclusively, she doesn't know, but she feels uneasiness and confusion, and then she decides, I will do nothing, I'll just let it be.
For example, can you give an example?
Let's say we have a situation...
So here our concept is that after deciding what we have to do...
This is after.
Then only our concept.
Yes.
Before we take decision, we may not work.
This is not... Yes. So she's saying before the decision making, she is describing, she has uneasiness. Then she is saying, I will not decide now. and then she lets the situation rest. After 1 hour, after 1 day, suddenly a clear solution comes. So I think she is asking what is happening there. She just leave it, she doesn't decide. And then after going to sleep or something, suddenly a clear solution comes.
So anyhow you take a decision like that.
You take a decision and not to decide. And
Can you say the solution comes from the total mind? Or it's not?
No, but here, anyhow you decide. You decide for yourself, this is not the time, you have to wait. So anyhow you postpone that thing. Whenever you are taking a work and you are confused whether it will be successful or not, you are afraid of the failure. When you are afraid of the failure, you cannot do any possible work. So if I want to make you do the possible work, then only we are introducing the total mind. You should not remove from your possible work. You have to attend the possible work. For that you have to, on the back of yourself, you place the safeguard of the total mind.
this concept is only after.
After taking decision.
This concept of the of the total mind or God only comes after the decision of the intellect. The intellect already decide, but he is afraid, he is not confident, so you introduce the...
But anyhow, we have to understand that the availability of conscious mind, total mind, that alone. We need not act, we will not direct the total mind to act. We cannot request the total mind to act. We will act, we will decide like this. And it is there. Total mind is there, it will look out everything. What is possible that we have to do, we have to come to a conclusion like this. So without any hesitation we have to act. That is the important thing. To remove the hesitation, we are introducing the total.
Yes.
Okay. So we are having some 10 principles with related how to deal our life in a proper way. We are having some 10 principles. The first one is psychologically you must take the role of a child. Psychologically we have to take the role of a child, but externally you have to take the role of a wise person. That is the first rule. That is the main thing. For example, in the Enlightenment and everything, we insist that we have to have an innocent state. Psychologically, we have to be natural. There is no correction. If some correction is needed, we are doing some intellectual work. So here, psychological world is concerned, within ourselves, it must be natural. There is no work at all. So if there is any work, so the intellect is needed, some efficiency is needed. So here, psychological world is concerned, no efficiency, no intellect is needed. You have to put everything in the natural way. So no child will correct itself. It will just like innocent child will act spontaneously. So in this way, our psychological structure must function as a spontaneous function. There should not be any intellectual correction to that. So that is in the external work is concerned, for example, we attend some official work or anything, domestic or anything. So you have to attend with our intellect. We have to be in a good manner, we have to be in an intellectual way, in a correct way. We have to understand what is correct and what is wrong. We have to do the right thing, we should avoid the wrong thing. Just like a prudent man, just like a wise man, we have to behave all our actions. So externally and in all our work, we have to act just like a wise man. But psychologically, we need not function as a wise man. Psychologically, we must function like an innocent child. There is no work at all. We have to go naturally. So that is the first rule with related to the 10 guidelines. The second one is, what is finished, we have to finish. We should not make it, try to continue it. For example, one of our relatives is struggling in a dangerous disease and hospitalized. He died. The matter is over. So after the finishing, you should not give life to that. I must have taken to the other hospital or treatment, this medicine or thinking that, then you are not finishing it psychologically. Physically it is finished, matter is over, but we are not finishing it psychologically. So in this way, each and every work, if the work is over, you have to finish it psychologically also. Psychologically it must be over. So you should not give life to the finished work. If the work is finished physically, you have to finish it psychologically also. So that is the second principle of life. So the third one is how to do our action. So for example, in the olden days, some mythological stories are there. Somebody may go for prayer to God, and God or angel will appear and bless with some blessings. So the blessing is nothing but your decision itself. So before we do any action, we have to decide what action we have to do. You have to decide. You should not deviate from the decision. But at the same time, you need not take a decision and you have to make it in a hard manner. You have to again and again you have to think like that. You need not worry about that. You decide. Once you finish, when you take a decision, you should not contradict the decision. You should not, when you, for example, if you decide to go to some other country, for America, for example, if you decide to go to America, you keep the decision forever. But don't change the decision. Instead of that, instead of go to America, I have to go to London. So in this way, you don't change the decision. No, you need not be strong enough with the decision. Need not strong, but you do not change the decision. Not changing the decision itself is enough. If you, in this way, if you do any work, before that you have to take a decision. What to do? In this way, sometimes you may avoid some work. That means you decide not to do. So in this way also you have to pick a full stop with that. I am not going to do that. So in this way you have to decide the decision must be final. Once you decide that I should not do that, afterwards you reopen that whether I have to do it or not. You don't reopen that. If you finish it, then you finish that I should not do. In this way, if you select something to do, you keep the thing unchanged. In this way, before taking any action, you have to decide what to do, what not to do. And if you take a decision to do something, then you are entirely how to take the action, how to execute the action. You have to take the second step, how to execute the action. First of all, you have to decide. Second, you have to execute the action. And in the execution action, you or sometimes in the other instances also you said something. Sometimes the situation may be suitable to execute the action. For that circumstances, you have to wait till the horizon of the appropriate circumstances come. You have to wait. Because when the circumstances is not good, the time is not the right one, so you have to wait till the time is ripened. But there is no change of decision. But at the same time, you wait for the time. So in this way, you have to attend your work. First of all, you take the decision what to do, and second, you do the work. Sometimes the time may be appropriate to do the work, so you wait for the time. You need not wait, you are not abandon the work, but you are waiting for the work. The fourth one is, take the work what is within your reach. Take the work what is within your reach, and leave the work what is not within your reach. Take the work what is within your reach, and leave the work what is not within your reach, and give it to the total mind. That we have seen what is within ourselves, within our reach, that we can do through our conscious mind. So sometimes it is not under our control. What is the portion of the work that is disturbing the future is not in our control. Present alone is in our control. So we have to leave the future in the hand of the total mind. So if you leave the future to the total mind, we can attend the present work. So this is the fourth aspect. What is within your reach, that you have to take. What is not within your reach, that you have to leave it to the total mind. And another work, another aspect, the fifth one. For example, we are qualified as a computer engineer, software engineer, and we are expert in the work, and we are working in a company, and for that work some special project is going on in the company, and for that they have selected you for the special project, and thereby you are awarded double increment for the post, and you are selected for that because you are an expert in that post, in that work, and you are selected as a one person, and along with you 9 other persons were selected for the work, because 10 persons are necessary for the work. For the execution of the entire work, 10 persons are necessary, and out of 10 you are the one person, and double increment, they are offered double increment, and you have to work it is a tremendous work. For that you have to work very hard. Ordinarily it cannot be attended. As a special case you have to attend, and you are selected one of the 10, and along with you 9 other persons are selected, and all the 10 persons are allotted a single room, because you have to work undisturbed by the other persons of the company. So you have to work your work in a serious manner. So you 10 were put in a single room. But what is the specialty in this matter is that you are only one person. The 9 persons around you are your enemy. Then how will you work? Because the work is very complicated work. You cannot attend very easily. But among the 9 enemies, how can you work peacefully? So you cannot work peacefully. So even the ordinary work alone cannot be attended properly. So how can you attend a serious work? So this is the problem here. So here, instead of this analogy, if you take the 9 person as your best friends, for example, you are one among the 10, the 10 are the best friends. Along with you, around you, 10 persons, 9 persons are there, the 9 persons are your best friends. So in this way, in this circumstances, how will you work? You can have a tremendous result. You can produce tremendous result because your friends are around you. So you can very easily you can attend your work with great enthusiasm. You can attend the work. So naturally, the psychologists say that the self-protection is the main thing. That is the main ingredient for our psychological structure is self-protection. Protect ourselves, protecting me, the protection is the main thing. So if everybody is thinking like that, so naturally we will have an idea that everybody, another person will harm you. So as a default function, everybody will having the idea that some harm may happen to you with related to the other person. Other person may sometime or other, they may harm you. They will disturb you. So it is unconsciously we are having the idea like this. So we have to change the idea like this. So here we have to come to a conclusion, we have to take a decision for ourselves that all are our friends. Whether they may not be our friends, but anyhow, for yourself you have to come to a conclusion like this. Everybody is my friend. Then only your action will be correct. Action will be perfect. You cannot, your action will be undisturbed. So if you act undisturbed, you have to take everybody as to your friend. If you, for example, somebody may do some harm to you, even though you give some harm to you, you have to take him to be your friend. Then only your mind must be calm. Otherwise, if you take anybody to your enemy, naturally you will be disturbed within you. So whether they may be inimical in their sense, but at the same time, even though they may be inimical, you have to treat them as your friend. For yourself, for psychologically, you may not at the same time, you may not do anything in a friendly manner. Doesn't matter. But psychologically, you have to believe that everybody is my friend. Whether they may do any wrong, very harm to me, I have to do the right thing to him. Whenever you think like that, you will become more powerful. But at the same time, if the other person will give me wrong to me, if you are thinking like that, to that extent you will be weak. So whenever you think, whether if the other person may give me wrong thing or anything, I will give the good thing alone, I will give the right thing alone. If you decide like this, to that extent you will be more powerful. So the fifth rule is that we have to consider, we have to take everybody as our friend. So that is the fifth rule. And another aspect, the sixth one, for example, if I am asking to pat this portion of this from the beginning of this session till the end of this session, you have to pat this portion of your leg in this way. I ask you to do this for 1 hour, you have to do this like this. I ask you, and you are also patting like this. If you do it for 1 hour like this, then for some way or other, unconsciously you will do that. After the finishing of the 1 hour also, you will do this thing. Because whatever you repeatedly do something, it becomes a habit for yourself. So in this way, some habits we can have, some habits, some bad habit or good habit we may have. So as much as possible, we have to increase the good habit. Or in this way, we have to decrease. Some way we may have some bad habits. We have to, as early as possible, we have to free from the bad habits. And we have to increase the good habits. If you increase the good habits, the habits will safeguard you in all problems. So increase the good habit and remove the bad habits as early as possible. That is the sixth aspect. And the seventh one is that we have to be careful with related to the pleasure. Pleasure, all pleasures are poison or poisonous, because behind the pleasures, the poison is there. But at the same time, we have to treat all our painful situation. Behind the painful situation, some blessings are waiting for you. You have to think like that. Then only you can have the confidence to deal with the painful situation. So you have to understand that, but most of the thing, we are forgetting ourselves. When we are in a pleasurable situation, we forget ourselves. So we have to be vigilant. Whenever the situation is pleasant, we have to be careful, because it is all pleasant situation is a poisonous situation. It will make you forget yourself, and you can do some wrong, some mistake. Yeah, it is possible to commit some mistake itself. So we have to be careful in the situation of a pleasurable situation. But at the same time, we have to treat all the painful situation. Some blessing is waiting behind this. We have to take it as a blessing in this case. Then only you can act prudently in a painful situation. And the eighth aspect is, whenever you select something to do, you have to do the action in a meditative manner. You have to one with the action. You are totally involved. Whenever you do something, your mind should not wander somewhere else. Then it is not a work at all. So if you do a meditation means you are wholeheartedly do something. So whenever you select a work to do, you have to do the work wholeheartedly. So that is the eighth aspect of the whole. Whatever work you have to do it as a meditation. The ninth one, that is, draw the line along, don't make it as a wall. Draw the line along, don't make it as a wall. What is the meaning of that? Drawing the line, not create a wall. For example, here we are having this road. In the road, dividing the left and right, some line is there. If anybody is taking the vehicle, we have to keep the left. We should not go to the right side of the line. We have to keep the... So in some road, instead of the line, some center median will be there. In the center median, we cannot go other side. But so in this way, we are having this kind of principle. Some different kind of principle. We have one by one. We have enumerated several kind of principles. So all the principles must be treated as a line alone. It should not be a wall. If you make it as a hard wall, you will struggling with your own rules and regulations. So you treat it as a guiding principle. As a guiding principle, it should not be a hard and fast rule. If you make it as a hard and fast rule, then you are converted as a hard and fast rule wall itself. So just like a center meeting. So if it is, but anyhow, you have to follow the rule. You have to follow that. You have to keep you within the rule, within the regulated one. And at the same time, if you make it as a hard and fast rule, then you will feel guilty. You will have a guilty feeling, and you have to struggle within yourself. So you make it as a guiding principle, but you don't struggle with your own principle. So that is the ninth one. Draw the line alone, don't make it a wall. And the 10th one is not, it is not for ourselves. It is only in the international aspect. But anyhow, we have to have some knowledge about that. And there are, even now, there are many wars. Previously, many wars they happened, and we are meet with many consequences. But even now, there are wars and in the world, and army are available in each and every country. And everybody is keeping their boundary line, and everybody is keeping the army within the boundary, near to the boundary line. So if you take the boundary line on ourselves, we have to safeguard the boundary line. So if you entrust the boundary line to the common institution, so you need not to safeguard the boundary line. So if you entrust the common line to the international organization, so you need not worry about the boundary wall. One need not create the army also. So instead of that, if you hand over the boundary to the international one, then we have no necessity to maintain an army. At the same time, even though we are having an army, we can use the army to a constructive work, not for the destructive work. Now we are having the army only for the destructive work. We have converted the same army into a constructive work. If you appoint the army for the constructive work, we need not work at all. But at the same time, everybody has to take some limited period of work in the army itself. Everybody has to function in the army for 5 or 10 years alone. The army alone will work for ourselves. So no work is needed by ourselves. We need not no competition is necessary, because in everywhere some competitive work is going on. One person is everybody is in competitive with the other person. Some unnecessary competition is going on in work level also. So unnecessary competition is not necessary. So the government alone will provide whatever is needed, and everything will be produced by the army itself. So no work is needed, no struggle is needed. Some different kind of society we can form. For that, as a first step, we have to hand over the boundary wall to the common institution, and thereby we can convert the army to the constructive work. So that is the 10th aspect of the guiding principles. And these are all the main ingredients for the 10th rules. And we have completed what we have to do when the work is finished. That we are through the thought and thinking. So in the complicated work and the continuous problem, we have to attend through the conscious mind and total mind concept. So here we have completed all our aspects, and tomorrow we have to confirm our enlightenment, whether we have enlightenment or not. That we have to confirm tomorrow. That is the confirmation class. That is the final session. But afterwards, only if anybody interested have any question to answer, tomorrow is the last day for our camp syllabus. But afterwards, each and every day we can have question and answer. So on the regular satsang we can have whatever may be the question you can have. If you don't have, there is no work at all. But there is no talk. But the talk will be over tomorrow onwards. But the meditation will be, we will have several other meditation classes also. We have completed, so far we have completed 2 meditations alone, and 5 meditations or more that we can take in the evening. But today evening also at the 4 o'clock we will have one kind of meditation. If any clarification you need here in the topic, so far we have completed. If you have any clarification, if you need clarification, you can ask.
Now we are given 10 points for present. In the 10 point, the third point is decision and execution. Third point. Okay. Now we are given 10 points.
10 points.
10 points for you. Out of the 10 points, the point number 3, there is decision and execution. So once you make the decision, you stick on to that decision. Don't change it. Only focus on decision to execute that. So sometimes when I took the decision, okay, this is right. For example, tomorrow I am going to Bangalore. I take the decision. Maybe next week I am going to Bangalore, for example.
Next week going to?
Next week I am going to Bangalore. That's what I take. For example, I am giving. I took the decision. Next Sunday I am going to Bangalore. But meanwhile, in that 6 days, I have the gap of 6 days to take journey. In that I got some clue or some other intimation that going to Bangalore is not good. Being converted to my decision to Chennai is better. Bangalore is playable. So at the time, should I continue with the decision what I took earlier, or due to the circumstance and the situations occurred, I can change my decision?
So here, taking time, waiting, you are waiting for the day. So we waiting for the day, sometimes the person who want to go to Bangalore to meet a person, before that the person himself may come to your place. He need not go to Bangalore. So this example is different from that circumstances. This is another kind of example.
Okay, I'll give one more tip. So right now, I want to climb the Arunachala hill tomorrow. I make the decision, yes, tomorrow morning I am going to climb Arunachala hill.
So here the way I am using this, sometimes we are having several this and that. Sometimes we will go to Bangalore, sometimes we go to Bombay. So you are changing the decisions a lot. You have to either you decide or not. So for any work you have to execute, before that you have to decide. You have to execute the work. Then you have to work. Without taking any decision, you work means that is meaningless. Without any taking any decision, I will travel something. But you have to take to destination, you have to select. Whether you have to go to Bangalore or Bombay, you have to select. Then only you have to work. Without taking any decision, how to work? Before starting work, you have to decide. So decision comes first.
Yes, if I take the decision, I finish my decision. நான் இங்கே தான் போனோன்னு முடிச்சாச்சு, நான் இங்கே தான் போகிறேன். ஆனால் அந்த டைம் வரும்போது அந்த நான் திங்க் பண்ணது கொஞ்சம் சரியாக இல்லைன்னு தோன்றுறது. யாரோ சொன்னாங்க ஏதோ நீ போகிறது சரியில்லைன்னு. ஆனால் என்னோடய டிசிஷன் அது கண்டிப்பாக போயே ஆகணும்னு இருக்குது. ஆனால் யாரோ சொன்னதுனாலையும் ஒரு நியூஸ் வந்ததுனாலையும் அந்த டைமில் நான் என்னோடய டிசிஷன் மாற்றிக்கலாமா?
இல்லை, அதான் நீங்கள் வந்து மாற்றுவோமா மாற்ற வேண்டாமான்னு சொல்லி விடுவோமா செய்வோமா வேண்டாமான்னு நினைக்கக்கூடாது. முடிச்சது வந்துட்டு எடுக்கணும்.
சரி.
ஏன்னா நிறைய இப்போ இந்த சில காரணத்தில் எல்லோரும் மாற்றக்கூடிய அம்சமாக இருக்கும். சில இதில் வந்து இப்படி எல்லாமே பண்ண முடியாது. ஏன்னா உங்களுக்கு தெரியாது மாற்றினா என்னது மாற்றலைன்னா என்ன ஆகுங்கிறதெல்லாம் நம்ம ஃபோர்காஸ்ட் பண்ண முடியாது. அதே நேரத்தில் நம்ம மனசு மட்டும் அலை வாங்கிட்டே இருக்கும். அப்போ ஒரு வேலையுமே செய்ய முடியாமல் போயிடும். அதனால் நம்ம வந்து ஏதாவது ஒரு வேலையை செய்யணும்னுட்டு முடித்தா தான் நீங்கள் செய்யவே முடியும். இல்லைன்னா ஒரு வேலையுமே செய்ய முடியாமல் போயிடும். அப்போ முதல்ல ஒரு வேலையை செய்யணும்னு முடிச்சிடணும், இல்லைன்னா வேண்டான்னு முடிச்சிடணும். ரெண்டு டெசிஷனில் ஒன்று செய்யணும்னு முடிங்க, அதை செய்ய வேண்டானே முடிங்க. பிறகு செய்யணும் செய்ய வேண்டாம்னே ரெண்டையும் அங்கேயும் ஊஞ்சலாடிட்டு இருக்கிறது. ஒன்று செய்யணும்னு முடிவெடுங்க, செய்ய வேண்டாம்னு முடிவெடுங்க. முடிவெடுத்ததுக்கு பிறகு அடுத்த இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. செய்யணும் முடிவெடுத்த பிறகு செய்ய வேண்டாங்கிறத இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணக்கூடாது. செய்ய வேண்டாம்னு முடிவெடுத்த பிறகு செய்யணுங்கிற வேலை நீங்கள் நிராகரிச்சிடணும்.
ஓகே, ரெண்டுத்தில் வந்து கான்ஸ்டண்ட்டாக டிசிஷன்.
ஆமாம்.
சரி.
என்ன கேட்குறா?
அப்போ வந்து நம்ம வந்து ஒரு டிசிஷன் மேக்கிங்க்கு வந்துடணும். இதை செய்யணும் இல்லை இதை செய்யக்கூடாது அப்படின்னு ஒரு டிசிஷன் மேக்கிங் எடுத்துக்கிட்டு அதில் மாறாமல் இருக்கிறது தான் ஸ்ட்ராங் ஃபீலிங்னு சொல்கிறீங்க.
இல்லை அது காரணம் என்னன்னு எதுக்காக சொல்ல வரீங்கன்னா, நீங்கள் வந்து இல்லைன்னா ஊஞ்சல் அடிக்கிட்டே
புரியுது. இப்போ நான் ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் தான் ஃபஸ்ட் ப்ரியாரிட்டினா அதை எடுத்துக்கணும்.
அவர் சொன்ன உதாரணத்தை எடுத்துக்கோங்க. பெங்களூருக்கு போகணுன்னுட்டு ஒரு நாள் நினைக்கிறீங்க, வேண்டான்னு மறுநாள் நினைக்கிறீங்க, மாற்றி மாற்றியே நினைச்சிக்கிட்டீங்கன்னா பெங்களூர் போய் சேருங்களா?
அது வந்து ஒரு ஸ்மால் திங்
ரெஸ்ட்லெஸ்ஸாக ஆகிடுவீங்க. அது
இல்லை, அது வந்து அவர் ஒரு சாதாரண விஷயத்துக்கு எடுத்துக்க சொல்கிறாரு. நான் சொல்கிற ஒரு பிக் டெசிஷன் எடுக்கிறோம். இப்போ நான் ஒரு பெரிய முடிவு எடுக்கிறோம். பெரிய முடிவுனா என்னென்னு வச்சிங்களேன், இப்போ நான் வந்து ஃபேமிலியோடு இருக்கிறேன். ஃபேமிலியோடு இருக்கிறதா இல்லை ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் நாலேஜுக்கு அதிக ப்ரியாரிட்டி கொடுக்குறதா ரெண்டில் அப்படிங்கும்போது நான் ஒரு முடிவு எடுக்கிறேன். ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் தான் ஃபஸ்ட்டு. ஏன்னா நம்ம உலகாய விஷயம்லாம் முடிச்சிட்டோம், இனிமேலுக்கு சும்மா ஃபேமிலி இருந்தாலும் எடுபடியாக தான் இருக்க போகிறோம். ஸோ ஸ்பிரிச்சுவல் தான் ஃபஸ்ட் அப்படின்னு ஒரு டிசிஷன் எடுத்துக்கிறேன். அந்த டிசிஷன் வந்து நம்ம மாறவே கூடாது, அதுலேயே இருக்கணும். அப்படி தானே?
இதில் நோக்கம் என்னென்னா, நீங்கள் என்ன டெசிஷன் நல்லதா கெட்டதாங்கிறதே பார்க்குறது இல்லை, மனசு அலைபாயாமல் இருக்கணுங்கிறது தான் நோக்கம்.
அலைபாயாமல் இருக்கிறதுக்கு நம்ம ஃபஸ்ட்டு
2 டெசிஷன் எடுத்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னால் ஒரு டெசிஷன்லையுமே உறுதியாக இருக்க முடியாது, ஒரு வேலையும் நடக்காது. நீங்கள் 2 டெசிஷனுக்கு மாறி மாறி போயிட்டே ட்ராவல் பண்ணிகிட்டு இருக்கீங்களுடைய வேலையே நடக்காது.
ஆமாம்,
ஏதாவது ஒரு வேலையை எடுங்கன்னு சொல்லுவோம். ஏதாவது ஒரு வேலையை செய்யணும், வேலை நடந்தால் தான் நடக்கும்.
ஆமாம்,
வேலையே செய்யாமல் நீங்கள் அங்கேயுமே இங்கேயுமே ஓடிட்டு இருந்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னால் வேலை நடக்காது. வேலை தான் முக்கியம். ஒர்க் இஸ் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட்.
எஸ் எஸ்.
டெசிஷன் இஸ் நாட் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட். Decision you want alternatively take doing some decision, not doing some decision, doing, not doing, not doing, not doing.
அதெல்லாம் தேவையில்லை. நம்ம என்ன முடிவு எடுக்கிறோமோ அதை நோக்கி பயணிக்கணும்.
You have to work alone is important.
அப்போ நம்ம ஏதோ ஒன்று பண்ணுறோம் அப்படின்னா நம்ம வந்து இந்த ஒர்க்கை பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லணும். இல்லை இது வேண்டான்னு முடிவு எடுத்தணும். அதனால் இப்போ டைம் சேவ் ஆகுது, மன அலைபாயுதல் சேவ் ஆகுது.
அப்படின்னா நீங்கள் வேலையில் மட்டும்
கவனத்தை தேவையில்லாத அது நம்ம பண்ண போகிறது கிடையாது. புரியுது. நன்றி.
சரி, முடிச்சிடலாமா?
Just a small announcement. So we had been doing this enlightenment camp in Salem in Tamil, and this year we tried in English in Tiruchendur. Sound. So we have been doing this enlightenment camp in Tamil in Salem. So we have an ashram there. So where we do 3 days camp for enlightenment, and also 3 days camp on meditation in Salem. So those who are interested can join in that also. Salem. So and here we are trying the same syllabus what we teach in Salem, the enlightenment camp in English. We split it into 4 classes, and tomorrow is the confirmation class. So tomorrow we will be ending the enlightenment camp syllabus. So these are the main topics in the camp we cover. So that's what we are doing. And we also do 7 meditations that we are doing 1 day each year. So this we are trying in English here in Tiruchendur for first time. So thanks for coming and participating in it. And if you have any interest in donating in effort or money or something else, or through links, we are welcoming that. So you can contact our Angapan sir visiting the bookstore. You can try to donate, or you can offer your efforts or some links so that we can make it happen the next year also here. Every year something to provide some hall or food or something like that. Whatever you can willing to do, you can do it. So that's what I want to convey. Once again, thank you for everyone. See you tomorrow, or this evening, 4 o'clock. Thank you.
So tomorrow we are going to confirm our enlightenment.